YouTube, last video for the weekend. This is going to be a video on some future plays that I took today. We are going to first start this off with the Colts for 1 unit. We're going to be picking the Colts to win their division, the AFC South, at minus 150 odds. So that's going to be 1 unit Colts, AFC South, minus 150. Look, guys, I think the Colts are the best team in football. If there's anything we've learned these past few years with Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, there's probably a few others that I'm missing. Daniel Jones, obviously, for this example. Coaching matters. There's a lot of quarterbacks that we deemed as busts. We deemed as horrible. They get on a new team. They get a different coach. They get the right coach finally. They learn how to prepare. They learn whatever knowledge they didn't have before. And if they work hard, they're able to make insane improvements. And we've seen that with all these guys. And we've really seen it with Daniel Jones this year. I get it. A lot of people don't want to hop on the Jones bandwagon because we've seen him be bad for so long. I was one of those people. I just couldn't believe the hype. I haven't bet on them or against them this year, but I've seen enough where I truly believe right now this is the best team in football, and I think they're going to run away with this division. Their competition, the Jags, the Texans, we know the Titans are dead. The Titans will be lucky to win another game this year. The Jags, I've said it in a few videos, I think are phonies. I think their defense is pretty good, but I think Trevor Lawrence is not really making those strides that I think you'd want to see to feel good about Jacksonville. He still seems like the same old quarterback to me, and I think that's going to be their downfall. I think the biggest threat in this division is the Texans, because the Texans have a really, really nasty defense. I'm not a big CJ Stroud guy, but the Texans' defense is really nasty, and I think they're a bigger threat than anyone else in the division. But the Texans started 0-3, and I think the hole is too big for them to dig out of. I think the Colts go on a roll, a big run, and just run away with this division. Minus 150 odds, I feel good about it because I think when it's all said and done, I think they're going to make it not even look close. Again, that was for 1 unit. Okay, next play is we're going with the New England Patriots at plus 145 odds to win their division, the AFC East. Okay, now this division's pretty simple to break down. Jets are dead. Dolphins are dead. It's between the Patriots and it's between the Bills. And the Patriots already have a road win over the Bills this year. And Drake May, similar to how I felt about, let's just say, Daniel Jones coming into this year. I wasn't a Daniel Jones guy. I wasn't a Drake May guy. I thought both these guys sucked. But that's the thing with betting. You have to be willing to give up your bias, or be willing to drop whatever knowledge previously seemed relevant, because things can change, and they can change quickly. And this year, and guys, it's not like I waited for 1 game to have a total flip. That's not what I'm talking about. We're at week 7 now. We've seen enough where we could actually consider what we're seeing significant. And Drake May, with a competent head coach now in Mike Vrabel and OC Josh McDaniels, I got to give Josh McDaniels a little bit of credit here. The blocking schemes are awesome. Drake May has a ton of time. He's completing the deep balls at like 75%. It's insane. I'm sold. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think they are going to win this division and surprise the world, and Buffalo won't win the division. That's my prediction. I do think it's close, though. I'm not insane here saying it's a lock, but I do think they have a slight edge over Buffalo. One, because they already have a road win over them. They'll face them again at home. But honestly, I think New England's a little better than Buffalo right now. I think offensively, they're pretty similar with their efficiency and production. But defensively, I give New England a little bit of an edge. I think Sean McDermott, I think he's run his course there in Buffalo. I think after this year, ownership says, you know what, this guy's never going to win us a Super Bowl. And with how far their runs have gone, I don't think they can hire him another year. I'm going to say it right now. I don't want to get too off track, but I do want to say this. I think the next hire for Buffalo should be Brian Flores. That's a real coach. He's going to get in your ass, and he's a great defensive mind. Sean McDermott, I'm so tired of seeing these average, loosey-goosey defenses. Him and Tomlin should start a coaching clinic on how to have the softest defenses you've ever seen. Brian Flores, he's going to throw the kitchen sink at you and make your life hell if you're on offense. I think that's the next hire for Buffalo if they have the balls to do it. You know, he's suing the NFL or whatever, so that there's a risk in that. I don't know if he'll get a head coaching job again, but I do think that would be a great hire for them. Because offensively, when you have Josh Allen, you're always going to be good enough offensively. You need to have some sort of really good defensive mind in there to balance that out, in my opinion. Yeah, with all that being said, I give New England the slight edge there. I'm not saying it's, like I said, it's not like I'm saying this is a 100% or 75%, but it's just a little bit over 50% edge. And with getting plus 145 odds, there's value in that, so we're going to take that value. And lastly, these are just and I can't remember if I said the units. The Patriots play is 0.5 units. The Colts was 1 unit, Patriots 0.5 units. Okay, now these are going to be very tiny sprinkles. Do not get greedy and bet a lot on these if you're going to follow them. These are each going to be 0.05 units each. So not 0.5, 0.05. Very, very small because even if you have the best team in the world, they have to win a lot of games in a row to win these, and it's very hard to do, and it's just unlikely. So we are basically going all in on the Colts here. We bet on the Colts to win their conference championship and the Super Bowl. So we got the Colts to win the AFC conference championship at plus 800 odds, and we got them to win the Super Bowl at plus 1,500 odds. So 0.05 units each on those. 0.1 units in total if you add them both together. Like I said, guys, I really believe in this team right now. I think they're averaging over 6 yards a carry rushing the ball. Daniel Jones has been phenomenal getting rid of the ball quick, not making too many mistakes. Shane Steichen, I think he's a killer. I think he's going to be one of the better coaches in this league the longer time goes on. Look what he's done so far with horrible quarterbacks. He's always kind of had at least like an average kind of record with absolutely nothing to work with. I mean, Gardner Minshew and Anthony Richardson, and they were always in the possible hunt for making the playoffs. You know, now he actually has a quarterback that I guess is somehow good. Brian Daboll might have been the worst coach of all time. That's what we're learning with Daniel Jones. But their defense isn't bad either. I know that they got a little bit banged up right now, but when we get deeper in the season, you know, they'll get some of those guys back. But stealing Lou Anarumo from the Cincinnati Bengals seems to be a really good get. Lou had really bad personnel in Cincy last year, and that probably just hurt the overall performance of the defense. Now with some better personnel in Indy, looks like he's put it together. And between the decent defense and the really good offense, I just think this team is rolling. I think they're the best team in the league. Look, will they be the best team at the end of the year? I don't know. Only one team wins it all. I just think right now, based on what we've seen, based on what the data is telling us, this is the best team, and we're going to take a shot on them. So Colts to win the division, minus 150, 1 unit. Patriots to win the division, 0.5 units, and that was plus 145 odds. Colts to win the conference, plus 800. 0.05 units, and Colts to win the Super Bowl, plus 1,500, 0.05 units. All right, guys, that's all I got for you now. Until the next time, peace.